So, hello everyone, and welcome to, I believe, the sixth session, if I'm counting correctly, um, of the Versumi Tales D&D podcast. And we're actually getting close to what I would call the reveal of the name of the first part of this campaign. I'm trying not to spoil, um, but anyway, I'll just go ahead and toss it to our players to do their introductions.
It is I am Jess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. It's been a week since I did this. Well, 2 weeks. Hello, bitches and bros and non-binary hoes and all that are listening to this as of yet unnamed podcast, which I guess is going to get a name soon. I am Gunner, once again playing the illustrious, the lustful, the ever furry and fluffy Donovan Fluffles, Don Fluffles for short, Fluffy the Sum, and a various cavalcade of nicknames that I shall not list. Next.
Hey everyone, it's Cat5 Gaming, playing my signature character Katrea, who is now +1 Spooky Liz. And hopefully a lot of weird and interesting things are about to ensue.
And I'm Sophia, the motherly, saintly woman who is currently in possession of a soul sword.
A soul sword. A
Won't let us-
sentient blade.
We'll try not to get it confused with the Soul Calibur, alright?
I mean, its name is Celtic Royal Knight Sword, so...
I am very terrified of what's to come.
I mean, it's better than the Soul Edge.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but it's borderlining on...
Don't call. She won't let it. When we try to call her mommy, she doesn't get it.
But
Essentially,
I am Serene, the Dungeon Master, the DM, all that good stuff. And yeah, I have some fun things that hopefully will be interesting for this campaign. Some things that I discovered that I can do that I didn't know that I could do before with the program here that I have. For example, I can do
Pingers!
that.
really? Really? And what program are we talking about, dear? What program's that?
This is voice mod.
Yeah, figured, yeah. Don't make me press my buttons, sweetie. Don't make
I'm-
me press mine.
I'm
Reminds me-
glad that everything, because I put a lot of work into figuring out how to get this to play over Discord. So I'm glad that I can do this. And all of you can hear it. So good.
This one.
Nice.
Reminds me of a college roommate. He had just a button that said "nut" when you pressed it.
The nut button.
The nut button.
That seems pretty sus.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, you think that's up?
Nice. Nice.
It's the entirety of the
Yes.
traffic.
Right.
Let's get back to the...
Right. But yeah, I'm glad that I can do that. The most fun part though about all this is that I don't even have to touch voice mod itself in order to do anything.
Oh, what, you got your keybind set up?
Hmm?
You got your keybind set up?
Nope. I have the app set up on my phone. And so I can do something like this from my phone.
Oh god. Is that what you're gonna play that every time the sword tries to talk to me?
But yeah, I like it because it lets me do all the voices and stuff without having to like click into voice mod and go through a whole bunch of like settings and stuff. Just with a click of a button.
I can not only play sounds, but voices too.
So.
I could do without hearing that voice again.
Return the slab.
Right. But yeah, it's pretty nice that I can just do all that from my phone. And so, first off, I'm glad that all the work I put into getting it to play over Discord properly did in fact pan out. But also, I'm really glad that just in general, not even for D&D necessarily, but like even when I'm doing like recordings on YouTube, when I need a voice, I can just push a button and voice mod just automatically does it. So.
Damn, she's playing StarCraft 2 as the Zerg. You hate to see it.
You would not believe how many. You would not believe how many times in Final Fantasy XIV, I'm like trying to record something and then I have to like switch over to voice mod. It's like, oh my god! Like I'm middle of combat and I'm trying to figure out where I have an opening long enough to switch to voice mod, hit a button, do a line, turn it off so that I can talk to it.
Wait, you do lines? Damn, my streamer does crack. That's crazy.
Yeah, now I can just press a button on my phone and immediately I have a different voice. Just like that. Anyway, on to D&D itself, I suppose.
That's the reason we're here.
So, last session, you made it through the caves of Khefu. And at the end of the caves, you encountered this half-dragon creature of some sort. And he apparently blamed you for a cataclysm that is to come and insisted that the only way to prevent it is by your death. None of you were very keen on that, and so instead of letting him kill you, you slaughtered him.
Yeah, we ran his head.
It's called self-defense.
Right.
I don't know what we did. Kind of looked like manslaughter. I'm not gonna lie.
But after taking care of him, you found the sword that was Rin's and managed to put her soul crystal back into it. And now you have a sentient blade that can talk to you, and that I am definitely not going to regularly.
Yeah, you're definitely not also gonna bully me with a sword. I can already feel my brain cells eating each other. That's crazy.
Afterwards, you made your way deeper into the caves of Khefu, where at long last the caves opened into this enormous cavern full of very tall buildings, so tall that it's almost impossible to see the tops of them, even if you crank your head way back. And it's not just due to it being dark in the cave, because actually, for some interesting and odd reason, this whole cavern that you're in now seems illuminated and I wouldn't say bright. I might say not quite dim light, but not bright light, you know? So on the edge of what D&D would classify as bright light. Yeah, this strange place with buildings that look like they're made out of some sort of metal. Oh, excuse me, sorry. I don't know where those came from. But yeah, strange, looks like metallic buildings. A lot of them have windows that have been shattered. That looks like they're made with like glass. There's all kinds of weird like metallic poles that go into these strange like metal plates that almost look like they're meant to be signs. But if they have some weird language on them that you're unable to decipher. It looks ancient, whatever the language is. You don't even think you've ever heard of this language, let alone like have a clue how to decipher it. So, but you did, stop here, and you let yourselves take a bit of a rest. That said, I do have to say one thing about your rest. During the, I guess I can't say middle of the night, but during your period of rest, you hear this strange noise echo throughout the cavern. This happens a couple of times during the night.
What is that racket?
That certainly doesn't sound like something that's going to become a problem for us soon.
Sounds like a future friend.
I do see one other issue, though, looking around our new environment here. The only thing I can see down for any distance is that this street ahead of us. These buildings are massive. How are we going to navigate this place?
Follow the sound, I guess. Sounds reasonable, right?
I guess we're just walking in a direction and waiting for something interesting.
I mean, if you give me 10 minutes, I can get an upper view. Because one of the spells down learned upon leveling up. Find familiar.
Ooh. Alright. And what kind of familiar have you picked?
An owl.
An owl. Actually, didn't I already have a token for an owl? If I do, I don't even know where I would have put it, but maybe in beasts. Nope, it is not in my beast folder, so I don't know where else I would have put it. So I will just grab a random owl picture off of the interwebs.
Apparently I took Find Familiar as well.
Ooh, okay.
Damn it, now I've got to go open Roll20, but, well, not Roll20, sorry, no, 5e tools, so I can actually know what spells do.
Oh, yeah, right. A lot of things are strange and annoying now, and that didn't even let me do a thing. That's odd, but that's okay. I can still work with this. Sorry, just having difficulty getting freaking owl picture downloaded for some reason. But yeah, okay. So we have an owl for one of the familiars. Because I did hear that somebody else had also taken the spell, so... Oh, I do have. It is in my token folder, which means I haven't actually made a token out of it. But I have
Oh,
it.
a note of advice for everyone in the party: don't waste a spell slot on detect magic. I get it for free.
Ooh,
Yeah, I was gonna take that, but then you said that, so I didn't take it.
that is... that is nice. Hey, look, I actually did have an owl. I just didn't have a token made for it. Or rather, I didn't have a token saved for it. Well, maybe I did, because the picture that I have for the owl is under a name, and so I have the feeling that it is that one of the other players, probably Mist, had an owl pet. And so I probably had it saved under that name, but now I have it saved under Beast, under Owl. So...
Actually, speaking of detect magic, is anything around us magical?
Let's...
Or any, like, weird
see.
ambient energies or anything?
Yeah. Anything magical and weird ambient energies. Aside from the standard ambient magic that always exists, that you probably know how to, like, tune out anyway. There doesn't seem to be anything that, you know, pops out at you when you're using your detect magic, so...
Nothing unusual. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything is unusual, it's just not magic unusual. So...
I wonder what that sound
Oh,
is.
there's that. Yeah, there's that weird noise again.
Definitely nothing good.
I do agree with that.
Sorry, I just choked on nothing. Yeah.
Well, I guess there's nothing for it but to start walking.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this big street ahead of us. Might as well start heading down it.
Give me
Do
10.
agree.
Like I said, just give me 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Because ritual casting doesn't use a spell slot.
Right. I mean, I feel like you probably would have, like, already.
During our rest, we would have
summoned
casted it, surely.
Yeah.
For
it. So. Sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I choked on nothing, and because I'm doing something, I haven't had, like, a chance to stop and, like, you know, grab, like, a drink or something to kind of help, you know, wet my throat again. So I'm not, like, choking, but like, my throat just feels dry because I'm trying to grab a file at the moment.
To be fair, we've had a lot of hot days and crappy air quality. So
Yeah, it's been real bad lately. It really has been. So,
By the way, I sent you a token and a full image of the hawk of my familiar.
oh, you could sent me the full image too? Okay. Cool. Yep.
Yep.
I see that.
You know, for that one that comes up at the bottom left.
Yeah, I saw that you sent the token, but I missed that you also sent the full image, which is good because that's what I was looking for. I was like, oh hey, cool, we have a token. I just gotta find a full image, but you have
You're
provided that, so I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. Yes. replace that file because I apparently had a picture of a hawk saved, but it wasn't actually a token portrait. It was very strange. It wasn't even like a token. It was I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, so now I can put that down. I assume that all of the birds are the same, like tiny sized creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think you can only summon small creatures at the moment.
Right. That is true. You probably can. So, that's not the token you sent me. Or maybe you sent me a.
I sent one, and then I was like, nah, that's gonna be because like the full image was literally just like the chest up of the hawk.
Ah, okay.
So I made a new one real quick.
Got it. That's why that seemed weird.
Yeah.
Did I just accidentally save that into? I did. I'm intelligent sometimes. Frick. I don't frickin'
Well-oiled
computer.
machine.
But yeah, I didn't like. I mean, I can still focus on this while I'm doing that as well. So if there's something if there's something that you all want to do while you said you're all just kind of like heading out, basically. I assume.
That was
Walking.
the plan.
We just
So-
start walking at a nice, regular pace.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan. Excuse me. I don't know why I suddenly have hiccups and burps when I usually I get that from drinking something, but I literally haven't had the chance to drink anything here.
Fun fact about hiccuping.
I like that fact. Fact.
Hiccuping is your fish brain trying to breathe through the gills.
Makes sense.
That is interesting. Okay, so Owl is for Dawn and Hawk was for Sophia, right?
Yep.
Got it. Let me just go ahead and distribute those to your characters. They can roll they are technically creatures you control in initiative, so I have them added for when we do roll initiative. And as far as venturing forth, so Rin, she does know the way, more or less, and so
Is Ugandan?
she can.
Is this gonna be like what is it, Shadow of the Colossus, where I just hold up my sword and a light beam shines?
I was thinking more Skyward Sword, where you hold the sword forward and it beeps.
You're gonna douse for it?
If you're going the right way or not. But yeah, for the most part, she can communicate to you telepathically, of course. And as long as people are within, a certain radius of her, she can communicate to them as well. And as far as actually, giving directions, based off the fact that she can't technically see, she has, I think, blind sight, was it? Or did I not write that down?
I think that's what you put.
Hearing and dark vision. Okay, so she can see. Okay. Right. So she can see just fine. That's got it. So yeah. Like she can kind of help with giving directions. She will tell you all to be careful. This place is absolutely brimming with all kinds of things. She can't describe exactly what you're going to encounter, but she can tell you that the things that you're going to face are unlike anything you have probably ever seen before.
I have seen a lot in my many lives.
Let's see.
You've seen something like this before?
Not quite. I have seen lost cities, but not this level. This is quite astonishing, if I am to be honest.
It's so dead.
I was going to say it's gauche.
It's what?
Gauche. Gaush. Or CH.
Gosh.
E.
Goss.
Over the top.
Now, does anyone hear any animals? Insects? Anything?
Do I do? Do we?
You can throw some perception checks if you would like.
I would like.
Gosh. Lacking ease or grace. Unsophisticated and socially awkward. That's the one that I
kind
could
of
find.
gaudy as well.
Oh, gauche.
Gauche.
Pronounced gauche.
Gauche.
Oh.
Upon finding the word, honestly, I also would have assumed gosh, because it was AU. So, Gauche.
Yeah, I don't hear crap.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yeah, if you want to roll a perception check.
I got a 19.
Alrighty.
I hear one insect more.
Synthetic 20.
Also 20. Nice. Alright. So that's the interesting thing. Or I should say that's definitely one of the interesting things. Aside from that noise that you heard a few times earlier, everything else is dead silent. You hear no bugs, you hear no, ambient noise of any, kind. It's that there's just silence in all directions.
That is not reassuring.
No, anybody? Anything? Nothing?
No.
Nothing.
What a lovely place.
That is definitely not reassuring.
Definitely not. So Rin can say, back in the days of the Olnathan Empire, this city was once absolutely bustling with life and with people. It was absolutely bustling with noise. You couldn't go 2 steps without hearing somebody shouting or people running into each other or some kind of there was so much noise that it would have assaulted your senses. And yet the people that used to live here, the Olnathans, they just didn't even notice it. It was almost just because there was so much noise all the time. They had just learned how to, kind of block it out to hear only what they wanted to hear, that kind of thing.
Why did they build such huge buildings just to house a family?
Well, there were likely multiple families in a single building.
I guess that would make sense.
Maybe they would really tall.
Yeah. So Rin would respond and say, back in the days of the Olnathan Empire, they had the capability to build and to house, hundreds of people in a building. She says, people were cramped inside of buildings. 2 or 3 people living in a space about like half the size of a modern, for fantasy times, but half the space of a modern building, and she kind of like guides your attention to one of the tall buildings and says, that used to hold hundreds of rooms. She says they were called apartments.
Apartments.
Entire families would live in literally in just one or two rooms worth of space, with a family that's literally living their whole life right on the other side of that wall, next to you.
A strange name. They call them apartments, but they're right next to each other.
Maybe it's part of the same establishment.
Probably because they're
part of.
Part of, yes.
That or they're just compartments.
So each one of these buildings is a whole village?
I think.
Yeah,
I would more so say this whole place is a village.
This place is like 50 cities.
Yeah.
50
Rin would say that entire buildings would house villages worth of people. She would say that not all buildings were houses. There are buildings that were dedicated to workspace. You would have 50 workers all in one room. They would work in these little square spaces. They call them cubicles.
Well,
to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the total population of this place was greater than our entire world.
It's very possible, come to think of it.
imagine all the dead people that are from here.
Hmm.
Imagine all the skeletons we're walking on. Ugh.
I'm trying not to think about it because if there's zombies here, we are so fucked.
That's true enough, isn't it?
We'd be outnumbered like a bajillion to one.
Nope, there it is.
Ah, and there it is again.
Excuse me for a sec. Hey, I'll just talk to this owl. Hey, Knock, need you to get a bird's eye view for us. And he just has the owl fly up to 100 feet. Because that's the limit for Find Familiar.
Okay. Let's see.
You know what the funny thing about that is? This is out of character. Like,
Yeah.
100 feet would only be like 3.5 stories.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because I actually
Really?
was like, how much
Yeah.
is 100 feet? The average skyscraper is about 450 foot. So,
Well, my degree isn't in architecture.
neither is
Maybe a
mine.
bit more than that.
Yeah, but neither is mine. But hey, Google will tell you all kinds of stuff with just a quick type. But yeah, I mean, your owl. He flies up. He kind of looks around. The buildings are still taller than even the limits of your familiar spell can reach.
Actually, no. Given total space and in between, wouldn't a floor be about actually more like 15 feet? I think.
Probably.
One story would be about 15 feet. Still, though, that's nothing compared to a skyscraper. 100 feet
Right.
would still be like what, 6 or 7 stories or something.
Right. The average height of a story is considered to be about 14 feet.
Oh, well, I was actually really close.
Yep. Like I said.
Well, considering people used to live inside these things, maybe we can actually go in it and go up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad idea. We'd get a good view.
Yeah, have the familiar kind of like follow outside the building.
Outside the building. Yeah, you could try to do that if you want.
Well, which one looks stable-ish and tall?
Not many of them look very stable, I'm going to be honest. Some of them are missing, like, they have entire, like, gaps in, like, the sides. Some of them do look more sturdy than others. I would say it probably wouldn't take you long to pick a building that looks fairly stable but is also pretty decently tall. Walking up to one of the buildings, it might surprise you when the doors open entirely on their own.
No.
They just slide apart.
Did any of you do that?
Why me?
I mean, I didn't do it.
Katreya draws her sword like, who opened the doors?
Right? Fantasy people in a modern world. What the heck?
Unga bunga, me no technology.
Right?
I mean,
Well,
worst case.
I am a robot made from what is possibly a human or
You're so magical, you have
no.
soul. That's what you are.
As long as this doesn't start raining salt, we'll be fine.
This is probably just a mage trick. She's gonna, like, detect magic on the sliding doors.
And yes, that was a near reference.
I know very little about Nier, so...
Essentially, the end of one of the endings of Dragon tracking guard 1. Basically, you're flying. You end up defeating some freaking eldritch god above the skies of Tokyo. Then the freaking Japanese military shoots you down with a freaking missile barrage. As you evaporate, your body freaking turns to salt, rains down on the city of Tokyo, and just basically turns everybody into petrified statues.
And then Nier Automata comes in.
Which comes after all the endings of Nier, after you erase your existence.
Right. So
Dragon.
I can tell you that your detect magic picks up nothing magical in the area. So
Katrea's eyes go super wide, and she's like, "That's impossible. There's no magic. These doors just moved by themselves when we approached with no magic."
It could be gnome tech.
Even gnome tech has magic.
Gnome tech is.
Do you consider a clock magic?
So gnome tech.
No, but a clock doesn't know when I'm there.
True. But yeah, gnome tech in Versumi would definitely fall under the magitech, magical technology, more as opposed to the clockwork technology. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the impossible, but that's just fucking weird. She continues staring at the doors like, what the shit?
Right. Anybody want to take a step in?
Like this.
Never. I mean, down would step in.
Okay.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. True enough. You take your first steps inside, and suddenly these bright lights from the ceiling just flicker on and begin shining light down into the the whole of the building. As you look around, you notice that clearly a lot of the bottom floor here is in complete and utter ruin. Most of most of the the floor is covered in dust and dirt that looks like it's been made from just stuff decaying over, thousands of years kind of thing.
This place has certainly seen better days.
Well, it has been abandoned for a very long time.
There are what looks to be remnants of what were walls that separated, one room from another room. Dividing up the building, just this floor into many rooms. More rooms than you think you've ever seen in a single building, even on its own. There is a stairway. Much of it has crumbled and deteriorated. But there are still these, metal slats that kind of form these, stairs up.
So we've had a door open by itself and lights come on by themselves with no magic. Does anyone see any pressure plates? Start checking the floor for pressure plates. This is a lot of mechanics, and that could lead to a trap.
Instead of looking at the floor for it, Liana's just gonna kind of aim a hand at the floor and just cast Gust forward into the building.
Cast Gust forward.
You're gonna choke us with dust.
I know. No, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody starts coughing.
Everyone roll a con save.
I mean, you know, and I'm double checking Gust. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You cast dust directly in front of you, and it blows so much dust and debris and everything right into the air that I actually am in fact going to make everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
This is great.
Oh God.
I'm so sorry. I forgot that dust.
The moment you
forgot.
said it, I was about as soon as you said it, I almost immediately said everybody needs to make con save. But
I'm so sorry. I keep I haven't cleaned anything in a long time, so I forgot the function of what dust does. When you blow it. So
15.
Okay.
It was an 18 for me.
That's an 8 for me.
Ouch.
Hang on, let me. 1d20. Lucky Constitution is my stat, so hopefully this +6 works. It does.
Hey, 22. It do.
I don't even breathe. Can I just not make this save?
Yeah. It's actually a solid argument.
Actually, yeah, you don't breathe, so
I was just gonna say, actually, let me double check races. Let me double check Warforged real quick.
Your air filter gets filled with dust. I'm so
does
sorry.
it actually say they don't breathe? I actually don't know.
I don't think they breathe. That's why they're good for underwater stuff.
You do not eat,
Warforged.
drink, or breathe.
Big
Yep.
win.
And I don't
so
even
there it
sleep.
is. So yeah,
just go into, standby mode.
Nuts actually
So-
doesn't even need to. Nuts didn't even need to actually make it because yeah.
You're just like, my visual scanning is clouded.
Yeah. The dust kind of clogs over your, the optical systems for a moment. But you just, reach up, your finger turns into a cloth, and then you just wipe your eye, wipe off your optical
wipers.
surface.
Treya just looks very indignant, knocks some dust off her hat, and then starts casting prestidigitation, removing the dust in 5-foot cubes.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
just prestidigitate the dust
We're just like cleaning the air.
Cleaning the
off
air.
of my eyes.
Okay,
Hold
can
on,
we?
we gotta cast purify air.
Okay, can we get a move on before someone drops one part of the ceiling on us?
Right.
I didn't take prestidigitation, and I regret it.
Oops.
We should probably be careful moving forward, just of like loose parts or stuff falling. So everybody, watch your step.
Indeed. In fact, I would like everybody to make a perception check for me.
16.
God damn it.
Well, then I
That's
see
a
everything.
6.
Well, then I see everything. That's a crit 27.
Crit 27.
Gosh darn.
I got a 15.
15 for Cat. You said it was Nuts that said 16?
6.
Oh, 6. Okay. It was Liana that said
Liana
16.
said
I see it now.
16.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that if I want to know if it's you, I can just look at the chat.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I don't own dice.
So, all of you make your way climbing these, metal slats that look like they once functioned as stairs. You climb several sets of stairs, and And in fact, not only do I want a perception check, I want a constitution check, because you are climbing stairs. A lot of them.
Can I put that into athletics, please?
So, no, because this is still
Or
it would
acrobatics.
still be a matter of...
No, I'm just kidding. All right.
That
I rolled well anyway.
said, Nuts would not need to make the roll, because, again,
Because
you
this is an
don't
endurance
breathe to
check.
begin with,
Yeah.
so...
And I wasted a nat 20 on it.
Out.
Lol. Can I have it?
21.
21 for Don. Okay.
Here's another +6 for the people at home.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh my god, 26, that.
And 22 for me.
You stole my nat 20.
I
Nice.
did, thank you. I
Yeah.
did ask for it, and you did give it. Thank you.
Right? More or less. That's what it seems like, because that, yeah.
Thanks,
It's
Nuts.
like
I really
the
appreciate
climbing the stairs theme from Ghostbusters is playing right now. It's like just
Okay, now that my microphone reconnected to the computer,
Let me know when we get to 50. I'm gonna throw up.
so you climb several flights of stairs. After the 6th and 7th floor of stairs, you start to quickly realize how much more is above you. You are still doing pretty good. I mean, come on, look at the rolls.
Is there an elevator?
You're still going strong. You're doing all right. You're feeling good until Nuts steps on a step, and the step snaps under the weight of his foot. Nuts, if you could make a, make a dex saving throw to see if you can reach out and grab onto something as you're
We're just on
falling.
one,
It's
which would be a shame.
19.
Is that a 19?
That is a 19.
A 19, nice. Though it does catch you by surprise, the step just snapping underneath your feet, and you start, falling. You're able to reach out, grab hold of the step that was right in front of you. And you're kind of just dangling, with your arms kind of slung over the stair there.
Like you're on the side of the pool, but there is all of your weight behind you.
Yeah. But yeah, somebody could help him up if they want to.
I will help him up happily.
Yeah. Okay. I won't make you roll or anything.
God, I was prepared for an athletics check.
Yeah. I think you could maneuver well enough. Let's see. If you want to continue climbing the stairs, there's a gap now, but it's not like a major one, so you could continue if you want. I would ask for another constitution check. The idea here being that every so many floors you're going to have to roll an increasingly more difficult check kind of thing.
Yeah, I
So,
figured.
but yeah, if you guys want,
I swear to God, there's an elevator or an escalator.
Can we look around the floor that we're on for maybe? And she says this part's in character now. Maybe there's a platform with a counterweight somewhere in this building.
Wait a second. Elevators would exist by this point. They just act differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we
you
wouldn't
can
call them
roll.
elevators because we think they're just platforms with counterweights.
Right. I mean, yeah,
Wait.
you could roll an whoever wants to could roll an investigation check to look
Oh
around.
hell yeah, -1. Let's go. 10.
10. Not terrible.
I have a +1.
Investigation.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna find elevator shaft, but no actual.
That is a 10.
I was actually
Got an
just
18.
thinking. I was actually just thinking about the Final Fantasy VII climbing the stairs
Go
in
stairs.
Shinra. So that's funny that you linked that. What was your roll, Don?
23.
23. All right.
Look,
So
if elevators
wait.
exist in The Witcher and Dark
Oh,
Souls,
no,
they
wait,
can
never
exist in this.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Nuts and Liana, the two of you begin hunting to see if you can find any sort of platform that's different from anything else. A shaft maybe that could be the a place to hold it. The two of you are searching and searching until both Katreya and Don notice a large metal. I don't want to say it's a door because you wouldn't know that that's what it is. But it's two large pieces of like sheet metal that are kind of indented into the wall, into one of the walls a little bit.
Well, this appears to have a seam.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to push on it.
Right.
Push on the elevator door to open.
Yeah. Yeah,
Come on.
just push on it.
Cat darling, I know you're smarter than that. You gotta wedge something in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing that might help.
So do I. It's a long sword.
I have a crowbar.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You
right.
want for it then?
All
Alright.
right, thieves pack. I forgot to use that.
Yeah.
Don't forget, fugitive on the run for murder. And he
I didn't know that.
That's it.
he pushes the lever part of the crowbar
All right.
into the seam, and he's going to motion. Who has the better strength between Liana and
I think we both
Freya?
have the same. I think we both only have a +2. Cat?
-1.
Yeah.
Is
So-
minus.
Yeah, she's got a 9. So
Okay, so
So he motions Liana over on the count of 3.
on the way over, does she see anything on the wall? Because I think it would be really funny if this works.
There is a spot in the wall that is, that looks like it's like a hole. There doesn't appear to be anything in the hole, but there's just this little tiny whole spot that looks like a hole in the wall. So my answer is the elevator buttons are long gone.
Okay. I thought it would have been funny if we were all just preparing to heave ho this door open and just someone just presses a button and it just opens.
Right.
So she
Um,
grabs the crowbar and gets prepared.
Okay. Yeah.
One.
You can, I guess,
Two.
make a strength check with the help with help, so with advantage.
I'm giving Liana the help action.
Okay. So Liana can go ahead and make a stealth, or not stealth, strength
13.
with that. Okay, 13.
Unless it's athletics involved, then
Well, yeah, let's see, because your proficiency would only be a +2.
yeah, so it'd be a
So
15.
it'd be a 15. Okay. Yeah. 15 will be fine. So you embed the crowbar into it. You wiggle it a bit to kind of, edge it in there real tight. And then you pull with all your might to try to open the doors. You do get the two pieces of metal to part a bit. And when you peer inside, what you see is a very long shaft that goes up and down, both in, on an honestly ridiculous length. It looks like it goes below even the bottom floor there.
Now, is this better or worse than stairs?
Is there the metal wire in the middle of it?
There is not.
So that means the
So the
elevator.
shaft is just straight up empty.
The shaft. I mean, if there's anything in the shaft, you don't see it. It's a giant, big metal square shaft. But there's nothing inside. So.
Liana,
Hmm?
can you light up one of Donovan's arrows?
Yeah. She holds her hand out for the arrow.
And I just offers it.
She just puts a light on the tip.
Mm-hmm.
Donovan, can you make a shot up the shaft?
I doubt it. Looking by the angle, I can only get so high before it's inevitably going to hit a wall.
Well, if it hits a wall, it'll bounce off, surely.
Mm-hmm.
If it hits a wall and bounces off, it'll just end up falling down.
Well, I mean, it's bound to come down anyway.
If it
I'd be-
sticks, we'll see if we need to go even higher.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably be better off just dropping it.
And our weapons even stick into this? She starts poking the side of the corridor with her rapier.
I mean,
It looks like solid steel.
Yeah, it's solid metal, so I don't think your weapons
Yeah, it would just bounce off.
stick.
But we're not trying to hit anything. We're just trying to see if it goes up that far. Like how far this giant. I don't even know why we're trying to see up it. To be honest, she just backs away from the car, from the
I've got an idea. We can't penetrate it, but we can stick to it. And she gets out she has in her pack a little thing of wax, and she can melt some onto the end of the arrow, so that it'll just hit the wall and stick.
That could work. I'm just trying to kind of. I'm assuming you're trying to kind of judge how much higher this goes, if anything.
Yeah. So basically, she's just gonna break off half the wax stick and just gloop a bunch onto the end of the arrow with a little bit of fire.
Where I'm from, we call those candles.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You have what kind of weapon?
Well, it was supposed to be used for seals, but
right. What kind of a bow is it again, Don?
Longbow.
Longbow.
That's gonna have a lot of power behind it as well.
Mm-hmm. Long.
It has so much power that it just completely turns the wax to ash as it goes so fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it can shoot out to 150 feet, accurately, but it can go up to 600 feet, with disadvantage. Not that you're particularly aiming at anything. So, I would say you should easily be able to shoot and kind of, see how much further up, if that's what you want. If that's what Don wants to do. So,
In all fairness, he could shoot.
He really just sees it as a waste of an arrow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like, in all fairness, from outside, Don could probably shoot an arrow like 6 times the height of the building we're in.
Not 6 times, because we did establish that it's like 450 feet.
6 times the height the owl can make.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 6. That the owl can go. Yeah, for sure.
You shoot the arrow with the longbow, and it uses its dying breath to give you vision of where it is.
But yeah, I mean, if Don doesn't think that he wants to, then he doesn't have to. So.
Liana can totally understand why it would be a waste of an arrow, because I see no reason in going.
Yeah.
Because there's no way we could climb up through the inside of this shaft anyway. So
It looks
Right.
pretty smooth.
So. Back up the stairs.
evidently so.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Unless you guys would like to opt to just go through the streets instead
Mhm.
and say fuck climbing.
Well, now I'm dedicated to it.
I mean, think
So I shall finish.
Stairs are no problem. I can do a lot of stairs.
Right.
Can't climb a rope though.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to continue climbing, go ahead and make another con save.
all right, let's get them moving.
Oh yeah. The
Don't be complaining. Don't be complaining when we have to go back down the same way.
Watch me
That's
roll
very
watch me roll a nat 1, so it just adds up to 7. 15.
15. Okay.
Alright.
And Nuts doesn't have to because he doesn't have to breathe. So, or
Nuts is never gonna run out of energy.
You know what? That just climbs onto nuts.
How long would it take for, like, say, 30 feet of flying speed to fly up the stairs?
I mean, the idea would be that you're moving 30 feet per, like 6 seconds.
Yeah, so
Per round.
300 feet.
So, as far
That's
as
moving with purpose.
let's see.
I'm genuinely contemplating on using my daily ability just to get the fuck up these stairs.
Yeah, that is just gonna hold on to. It's just gonna climb onto nuts back.
Climb on the next back. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's your racial thing, right?
Yeah, Radiant Soul.
I opened the wrong page. Let me look at. Let's see. It's ASMR, right?
If you want, I have it typed up so I can just send you it to you directly in your DMs.
Yeah. Well, in the time that's taken to think of that, I've already got it open.
You know what
yeah.
I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do you one better. I'm just gonna send you this text notepad like document I've got,
Okay.
and it just contains my current traits and feats bar.
Makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So you have flying speed equal to your walking speed. How long does the transformation last for?
A minute.
Yeah, transformation lasts for 1 minute till you end it with a bonus action. So if you're moving at 30 feet around, and then, let's see. 1 minute divided by rounds. So 1 minute, it would actually be 300 feet.
Yeah.
So,
How much further up do I have to go to get to the top of this building?
So, with how much you have gone up so
Classic.
far, you've walked up about 5 floors. So you're about 75 feet up a 500-foot building. So you could get near the top, but you would still be
Can we
like
go up
2 floors
four
away from the top. But also you're going to be vastly like ahead of everybody else. And this is assuming that they, are able to even make the trip up themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you'll get up
No.
there in just a minute. It'll take them a whole
Fly
hour.
up the
at
elevator
least.
shaft. What am I on?
Hmm?
Just fly up the elevator shaft.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
mean, you could.
I mean,
I'm not
you
racial
could,
trait
but
yet.
you would run into the fact that you have to open the door on the other end. And if you
Yeah,
fail
true.
to do that, you have nothing to stand on.
The world's smallest ledge of like quarter of an inch.
Right.
Hello.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
different.
but that
I've got
would
a
be,
problem with X.
you'd be stuck there until somebody, if somebody can get up there.
Yeah, I'll be stuck there and I'll have a long rest and then we can fly more.
Leave
Right.
the elevator corridor.
Anyway.
So let's see. But speaking of the stairs, what did Katreya get for con?
Oh, 18.
18. Okay. And then Don is hopping on Nuts' back. So let's do something interesting with that. Let's go ahead and have Nuts make a con save. Because while you don't have to breathe, you're not immune to like exhaustion, right? You just don't have to sleep. So while you are able to get up, and while I think you would probably, do it vastly better than anybody else, I think adding the extra person is still going to make you, like, start feeling tired and such, so. If that makes sense.
That's a total of 5.
No,
Oh wow.
a total of 5. That's
Unfortunate, you hate to see it.
that's unfortunate. You hate to see it. So is Liana just walking up the stairs with the others, or?
Yeah, she's walking. I am not using up my flight.
Okay.
I'm using up daily
I
ability.
figured, but I wanted to be. We talked a lot, so I wanted to be absolutely sure.
Am I gonna go the crackhead option? No.
So you get to, you get a few more floors up. And as you're reaching the top of the stairs, or reaching this point in the stairs, Liana is starting to feel tired. Not exhausted, but is Katreya is just like, yeah, gung ho, let's go. But Liana's starting to feel the wear of climbing, 10 floors of stairs. Nuts, on the other hand, Nuts with Don currently, over his shoulders. He started, he's been trudging along, going up these stairs. About halfway, he kind of started to get, a little slower. Another halfway, 3/4 of the way, basically, you're starting to notice that he is, like, visibly slowing down. Like, there is steam starting to, like, come out of, like, his shoulders. shoulders and legs a bit, as his body is, working to, cool. His mechanical cooling systems they're in full swing, going on here. You get to, this floor here that you're on, and I would say he is dripping with the robotic version of sweat, basically.
It's steam that's shot up from his hot joints.
Yeah.
Condensation, the mix of condensation, but like red hot machinery,
Right.
is just making constant steam.
Rhea looks
On that.
back like, is Nuts okay?
Feels like he's getting hot.
Just one moment.
And just to be helpful, Don just freaking pour some water on him.
Hold. No, don't take out your canteen. Just hold up. And he's going to cast Create or Destroy Water. Cleric spell.
Alright.
Create 10 gallons of water, clear water within range, or water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube.
Yep. Alright.
So,
10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. Alternatively, the water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing flames in the area. So.
He's going to cast it as rain.
Okay. You just have, water kind of drizzle down on top of you.
Oh, there's that noise again. You just made it rain indoors, though. That's brilliant.
It's just a tiny cloud above me. The storm cloud above one person.
Very thematic. I appreciate it.
As you're taking this moment to, stop and rest, you hear the sound. It sounds very close. In fact, all it takes is one of you peering out one of the windows to take note of what you think it might be. Outside of the window, standing, it has to be at least 100 foot tall, is a massive mechanical construct of some sort. I how to describe it, I'm not even sure. Its entire body is covered in this black, like, steel plating. You can see that it has 2 arms, 2 legs, and gripped in one of its hands is this absolutely massive sword, at least 30, maybe even 40 foot long. With each step that this thing takes, it has now gotten close enough that you can feel the steps. The ground is shaking underneath you slightly as it's just everything, words. Yeah, the ground is shaking with every single like step that it takes.
But everybody down. Stay away from the windows.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
It is massive.
That's what
Like
she said.
immediately drops down near the floor and gets behind a wall.
Right. With it as close as it is, you notice that you notice that it has the closer it gets, the more you notice that it's like actually always making this noise. It's more that it's like the sound that it's making is kind of going up and down, and it's been the highest points, the loudest points that you've been picking up. As it's growing closer, you're starting to notice that it is making this sound continuously and constantly. But yeah, it is. It is quite massive. Let's see. It's tall enough. I said that, it's about maybe 100 foot, right? It's tall enough that you are higher than its highest point because you've gone up about 10 floors. You're, I'd say, 150 or so feet up now. And it's kind of about, if you were to calculate from the tip of its head, it's probably about 100 feet. If you were to calculate from the top of the massive, like, horns that are sticking out of the top of its head, you're maybe 20 or even 10 feet taller than, above the highest point of this creature.
So peering out of the window, we would be looking down at it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Katreya quietly says, "So glad we're not out on the street right now."
Yeah. For once, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Right.
That is not good news.
I don't know if that made it quieter or not by doing that.
Yeah, after we get a look around, how are we supposed to get anywhere with Death Incarnate walking around out there?
Well, we don't know if it's evil or not.
I didn't say evil. I just said Death Incarnate.
Death Incarnate. Yeah, that
Death
thing
would be
that thing
friendly.
will mess you up. That's for sure.
I'm just kind of going on the assumption that a giant mechanical thing with a 40-foot sword probably doesn't want to be our friend.
Especially in a city that has no one in it.
So you say that again?
Especially with a city that's got no one in it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I will say that you notice that the colossal thing stops in the middle of one of the streets. You watch as it takes its blade, inverts it, jams it into the ground, and just kind of puts its hands on the pommel, the bottom of the sword. Watching it for just a moment, you notice the glowing red lights, for lack of a better term, that you assume to be its eyes seem to just kind of dim until they go black.
Well, after looking at nuts, I'm going to assume that it's sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not so different from a golem, really.
Hmm.
Even though, again, it appears, I'm assuming it's probably nothing magical,
And it's a
which
large
is still as
golem.
impossible as ever, but whatever.
Right. I mean, Rin can answer questions too.
Yeah, I was about to say, Liana's gonna lift Rin's sword up and be like, what the hell is that thing? Well, what in the nine hells is that?
Oh boy. So Rin says, what you see in front of you is known as a colossus. In the final days of the Olnathan Empire, when the three brothers were warring against one another. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that previously, right? The whole...
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
In the final... The final days of the war between the three brothers, the Olnathan brothers built, or I should say had built, larger, more powerful, more dangerous constructs. When the war started, they had, your standard golem-sized construct. But as time went on, as the war progressed, as more people died, the constructs became larger and larger and more powerful. In the final days of the conflict, the Olnathan brothers, brought an end to their war, and the largest of their constructs, the Colossus, were put into a state of defense mode. Trying to think of what the right terminology would be. But they were basically turned from war to defend the land, kind of thing.
A sentry.
Yes, that's a good term. They were basically turned into sentries. Since then, having been given no other command other than patrol and guard, these colossi have continued to wander, continued to march, they've just continued to watch over and guard the city. Unfortunately, they were never given a command what to guard against. So anything and everything is a threat in their view. If one of these things sees you, it will pursue, and it will kill you. Those are the words Rin uses.
Do they have any weaknesses or limitations?
Their biggest weakness and or limitation is likely their size. Just because they're so big, they can really only wander through the larger streets. That said, while they can only wander the larger streets, they command an army of other Olnathan constructs. The moment one of them spots you, the entire city and every single construct inside of the city will be on high alert, whether it's large, small, and everything in between.
Oh, wonderful.
Well,
Hmm.
Let's just avoid it.
you say that
That
like it's
seems
easy.
like a good idea.
Uh, if you wander through the smaller streets, it is unlikely that the Colossi will see you. And as long as you stay to the smaller streets, the worst thing you'll have to deal with is the mech soldiers, as they're called. And she explains that mech soldiers are akin to a warforged, she says. They're very different from warforged, but you could view them akin to a warforged. They're the same size, they're made entirely of metal, they look human as if they were wearing, just armor for that time, their time
You're right
anyway.
back.
You wouldn't recognize it as armor, but still. Aside from the soldiers, and Rin would specify that the soldiers themselves usually don't alert other constructs, because they are usually out. The soldiers tend to be out en masse. 10, 12 of them in a group, and so they don't send out a warning most of the time, because they're usually enough to handle any threat they find as it is.
They move like a guard patrol.
Yes, they basically move like a group of guards would, just wandering the streets.
Well, at least that's something sort of familiar. Seems our biggest threat is those giant creatures.
That would be a good idea.
So, Rin, where exactly are we supposed to be going here?
And
So Rin would tell you, your goal is a building that is more or less in the center of the city. There is a building, and these are just rudimentary shapes on this map, so you don't see it. But there is a building that has a large, circular, spherical, whatever you want to call it, top level. What you're looking for is that building. In order to get there, you'll have to get into the larger, main district of the city, which is this big circular area here in general. And then you'll have to cross the dry canal, which is this long thing here. But once you're there, once you're on the other side of the canal, you'll be able to find the building. So
keep to the side streets, cross a canal.
how far?
Simple enough.
Well, I think. Well, not. Well, like she said, we have to watch out for the sentries. Not to mention that's like she said, a canal, which means which likely means a wide open area, no cover.
I did say simple enough sarcastically.
Indeed.
Okay then. I'm starting to envy Ayla at the wagon.
Yeah, I can see that.
So how much higher do we want to go in this building?
I suggest we just start making our way down. It'll be easier to go through the side streets.
Well, let's see if we can see the building we're supposed to go from here. Or from this building.
How much higher up is this building?
You cannot be seriously saying that we should go even further up.
Yeah, I mean it is quite a bit further up. So I believe.
Can we see it from the window?
Can you see that building from the window? Make a perception check for me.
$23.
23. Okay. I would say that you can, knowing the description that Rin just gave you, you can look out and see a building that looks like the building that Rin just described.
Good news. We don't have to keep going up. It's right there.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be a long walk, but we'll just keep out of sight. Much as we can, anyways.
Yes, as much as we can. He looks dead at nuts. He looks dead at nuts. That means you.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Don't worry, Nuts. If we run into the guards, maybe you could just pretend to be one of them.
That is a good idea. Maybe. Assuming
Hey,
it works.
Rin, if we kill a guard, does that alert everyone else?
She would say that if you get seen by the soldiers, more than likely, you'll be able to take them out without alerting anything. It's only if you get seen by, like, the Colossus that you're really gonna have to be concerned.
All we have to do is sneak across the big streets, and then we stick to the small streets.
Mm-hmm.
You do a sort of a zigzag pattern.
Or just head straight there. Try to avoid as many detours as possible.
Sorry, I'm sniffling a lot because my nose is really, like, obnoxious for some reason. I don't know why.
Allergies.
But yeah.
Well, first and foremost, the fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least going down is easier.
True
Hopefully.
enough.
Let's see. Let me check something for a second. Resource pack. Let's see. Da. Come on, 5e tools work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's only 50 feet.
And every time we come across a large street, I want to take like 10 minutes to ritual cast silence.
All right.
Why? Oh, right. I mean, they will still be able to see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if this thing has audio receiver shit, so I'm gonna be safe.
Right. 20-foot radius. Lasts up to 10 minutes. Okay.
I mean, depends on how many like large streets we're crossing, though.
Yeah. It would.
Because then we'd risk just wasting more time rather than just running across, especially if
Right.
it's not within eyesight.
And cast it if anything's if we're gonna get near anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Okay. Never mind.
Like if we actually see any in front of us, then I could understand it. But otherwise,
Right. And I can understand it, and it makes sense. I both sides I can see making sense.
right?
But yeah.
Yeah, I see the use of it, but like if they're already patrolling, then it's just
Yeah.
then. Like if they were just in one spot, like if they were just standing there, then then I would just be all for it. But
Right.
So if we have to cross a big open space, probably not a bad use of it.
like the canal.
Yeah, definitely a good idea when you get to the canal for sure. So, let's see. So go ahead and roll me some perception checks for everybody.
Hell yeah. That is a total of 23.
23 for nuts. Nice.
Same for me, actually.
23 for
That
cat.
was a nat 20 for me.
Ooh,
Nice.
Very nice.
Not quite a crit, but a 26.
God!
Always nice when you can land a 26 and it's not a crit.
I mean, Don has a +7 in his perception.
Rogues.
Right.
Zone slightly. What
Rogues.
are we rolling? Perception.
Yes, perception.
And that's gonna be a plus
Damn rogues.
3 for me, I think. If I remember rightly. Yep.
Plus
21.
21. Nice. Very nice. Alrighty. Very good. Your group wander. You climb down the stairs. You exit the building, and you wander on. You travel for, I'd say, an hour in complete silence. There's no, you don't hear the sounds of anything moving. You don't hear any colossi making noise, nothing like that. Everything is going pretty smoothly, to be honest. You get kind of, I'd say, about halfway to the central, district here. As you're walking, so Don, since you have the highest perception, I always hate throwing all this stuff towards Don, but he's always got the highest.
I mean, he is an experienced thief and treasure hunter.
Right.
Like he's always watching
Yeah.
stuff go
Nathan
down.
Drake?
He's not. I mean, I think he's more lucky.
So during your travels along the way, you've noticed a couple of times where through one of the windows in the buildings, you've seen what looks like, a light on or something. What strikes you as more interesting is it seems like every time you've glanced up, every time you've caught one of these out of the corner of your eye and actually looked up to see it, the light has gone off within a few seconds of looking at the window. You've seen this happen, I'd say, 3 or 4 times along the trip here. And then your whole group comes to a stop. In front of you is, for lack of better description, what looks to be a large mass of flesh, I guess. It looks like a bunch of bodies were just thrown into a pile, and then they didn't decay so much as they kind of parts of them melded into other people.
That is incredibly gross.
I'm pretty sure that's not normal.
Yeah, you're telling me I can actually smell it.
Isn't it like that thing that we fought before? Like the one that was screaming the whole time?
The gibbering mouther. It's actually kind of different. Because you can actually kind of make out individual bodies almost. In terms of you can see somebody's. With the gibbering mouther, it was just this big blob of flesh. But here it's you can see somebody's torso, and then way off to another spot there's a leg kind of sticking out. There's a head. There's actual full body parts that are almost these are the parts that didn't meld into the rest of it.
Mm.
No, the mouther is much like me and others like us. We're just different. This is just people spooge.
Wrong word I'd use.
I'm not changing my word choice.
As you're looking at this mass of whatever it is, one of the heads turns slowly towards you. Its mouth, its jaw completely unhinges and just dangles down from where it was. The jaw just kind of unhinges and it's just kind of dangling now. a couple of the arms begin to kind of like shift and move and almost like trying to reach forward. All of
Yeah.
you need to make me a wisdom save against fear.
I get advantage on this.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
18.
Okay. Leon,
Also
I got an
18.
18. Nice, nice.
I got a 19.
19.
Hold up. Let me, How do you type in the command?
Square bracket. Here, I'll type it into the something like that. I posted it in the Scion War chat. Square bracket 1d20 plus whatever, and then end square bracket. So 14. All right. The whatever this mass is, looks forward towards all of you and lets out a horrid screech.
Oh, that's not good.
I am leaving now. I am leaving now. I am leaving now. And he just starts to book it.
Every orifice, every socket, eye socket, every hole of some kind that would exist begins to glow this ethereal blue glow. And I'm gonna say it, but a 19 does not save.
Oh, so just fucking run.
This thing terrifies you to your core. It's not even just this like natural fear effect. It almost feels like you're being barraged by some kind of horrible eldritch fear coming from this thing.
We take off running, basically.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Your brain doesn't even take 2 seconds to process. You are gone the moment this thing, the moment this thing starts moving its legs forward and pulling itself towards you. You book it.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
As we're all running away, like Katrea's holding onto her hat, going, "I didn't expect to be chased by Manigatawny still."
For a little bit of flavor, Nuts has his arms behind his back, like in the skater pose.
Okay.
And his feet have wheels. in the heels. Has wheel wheels.
Nuts calls out, "Autobots, roll out!" And he rolled out.
As soon as they turn a corner, Don just casts minor illusion for a wall.
Okay. You peel around a corner and hide. The creature, whatever this thing is, just slowly but surely just continues just creeping onward and onward. Finally, after a few minutes, the thing has completely passed you by. I'll note that the closer this thing was to you, the more the fear gripped you. But as soon as the creature was away, your fear started going from intense, like unnatural levels of fear, down to just, okay, I'm terrified, You pause to, catch your breath, to, let yourselves relax. Kind of shake off the extra threads of, unbridled fear. And then you hear a crash behind you.
It's just like, well, that was a whole wagon load of nope.
And then you hear a crash behind you.
Fuck me.
No.
You whirl around to see a bucket rolling across the floor, or across the ground. That's it. It was just, a bucket fell from somewhere and went crash and kind of added a little bit of extra spook.
Once again, God seeks to shit in my cereal.
And now we're having buckets dropped at us. This is just great.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So what else do you think we'll run into in this death trap of a city?
We haven't run into any of those guardians yet, thankfully.
Yeah, don't jinx it.
Don't give
Okay,
the
so
DM idea. No.
seen my kind. We've seen Gethrayas. What next? Angels? Devils? Mechanical cats?
What? What was that last one?
After hearing
Mechan-
angels, Liana would side-eye nuts.
Mechanical cats.
Kind of
Beasts.
cool cats.
I don't know. I think one of my sons was working on one.
Well, as long as it's not trying to actively kill us, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them.
Actually, I'm going to pick up the bucket. What's it made of?
It's just a metal bucket.
Well,
The-
all our buckets are wood. This seems superior. Tonk, tonk. I'm going to keep this. Shoves it into the bag of holding.
A metal bucket. Okay, sure.
I
Why
have
not?
one metal bucket.
One metal bucket. It has been added. Oh, well, it will be added as soon as I can get it to one metal bucket. It has been added to your bag of holding. Alright, yeah. If you want to continue on, go ahead and make another set of perception checks.
Sorry, I'm gonna stop using these dice.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Synthetic 20.
Okay?
That is
11.
a 12.
A 12 and an 11. Alright? And Katreya?
Sorry, what were we rolling?
Perception?
Perception. Okay. That's 9.
9. Oof. Alright. Stealing your resolve after that, you turn down the path and continue making your way along. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes pass. Nothing really, jumps out or, spooks you or, you don't see any, soldiers or anything like that. You have managed to make your way to the central circular district of the city. Once you get to this point, you start to notice that the buildings are quite a bit different from the rest of the city. Whereas the rest of the city have all been these tall metal skyscraper type buildings. And while there are still metal skyscraper type structures, some of these buildings look very different. Several of these buildings seem to almost be made out of some form of crystalline substance. The walls themselves are brilliant and reflective. It almost looks like they literally grew a giant crystal and then dug the building out of it.
Well, that's hauntingly beautiful.
Yes, yes, it's lovely. We should probably get inside.
Well, I would imagine that they would still see us now.
Fair.
Beyond just the absolutely beautiful construction of many of the buildings, there are all kinds of other things in this area. Having never been to a city myself, I'm kind of trying to think of how best to describe what a city looks like without actually knowing what it what would look like. I wonder if it's... Can I get satellite view from Google Earth, maybe? Or Google Maps, or whatever you want to call it? Let me see. Let's see, I'm kind of looking for... again, I also don't know what exactly I'm looking for, even from trying to look at it from above. Let's see. Yeah, tall buildings, small buildings. I'm kind of looking at, a city via Google Maps, satellite view, to kind of try to get an idea of how I could describe this best. But also, again, not having been to something like this, I'm a little unsure the best way to describe. It looks like there's a lot of really tall buildings, and then there's just a lot of really small buildings, and then a lot of in between, and then there's just streets, and that's basically all there is. So I guess that's what you would be seeing.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
It feels very clustered and random.
Yeah, very clustered. There's a lot of buildings.
A bit of a Kalama fuck. I generally say a bit of a Kalama fuck.
Yeah.
God, I love that phrase.
while the streets up until now that you've been going through have been this sort of hard, almost rock-like substance, the streets that you're wandering through now, these streets themselves are almost crystalline in form. Yeah, in fact, as you're kind of looking at the streets, you notice that there seem to be a lot of like circular spots throughout the street. It's almost like the street is kind of made of these like circular things with then like a layer of like crystalline like substance over top. But these small little circular like things appear to be some kind of like really small like lights almost. You can see that some of these just make up like, you know, lines across some of the streets. Some of it looks like it's making up words. Again, words you don't words you don't recognize because they're in this same weird alphabet. Let's see. Has anybody seen the yeah, this might have been a few years ago. There was a there was like a concept for like a solar powered, like a road made of like solar panels.
Yeah, I've seen it. So it's basically like a bunch of reflective panels.
Yeah. It's a bunch of these like reflective panels with little lights inside of them making up all kinds of, you know, different shapes, different letters. Again, nothing you recognize, you know, none of the letters you recognize. But yeah, for sure, there's a lot of these like, you know, these like reflect, you know, the road is made up of these like weird reflective panels, basically.
This is absolutely amazing. It's like they took the stars and the earth and just crafted them into existence.
Yes, I can enjoy it a lot more if more in another situation.
True enough.
A shame we lost this knowledge.
It does look a bit fragile, though.
Could always test how fragile it is. If we happen to get caught.
Let's see, do I have anything that I could use as a kind of
Hopefully
like,
not
background?
fragile enough to make any loud noises.
Mm-hmm. True enough. Nah. I'm fine with what I've got. We'll just pretend that that's what's down. Because obviously right now it's just like a stone flooring. But I also expected, you know, combat or something. But my dice have said no combat yet. Which is good, I suppose. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that there haven't been any encounters yet.
Well, that's good for us.
Yeah, like I said, not exactly a bad thing. So, let's see here. So, you are in this, you know, sort of like crystalline, like, you know, buildings with like the reflective panel roads. taking a few steps on the reflective, pathing here, it doesn't seem as though, that it's gonna break under your feet or something like that. It feels really sturdy. It feels really strong. Feels like, feels solid, for lack of better term.
Well, at least that's one less worry.
Yeah. You hear Rin mention that you are, in fact, getting close. And, in fact, you can see right down the road here, not too far away, still a ways, but not too far away, within your vision, you can see what looks like a dried up canal. So you're definitely getting close. I can say that much. So let's see. Yeah. Sorry, just thinking for a second. Let's see. So some of you are absolutely mesmerized by the streets and the buildings and things like that. Your attention is just, focused out, on the wonders that you're beholding, to a point where, if it weren't for Dawn, suddenly giving out a shout, you may have missed the things that have come up directly behind you. Which are these things. Actually, let me organize these in a different way. That place, please. Thank you. Actually, here, let me have putting them in that formation, and then I went, wait, actually, that is like a better formation. I think I want them to be in this 5, 4, 5, 6, we're 7, 7, 8, 9, and then yeah, these guys will just be like this. That's fine. And look, it's an arrow. That's fine. So I'll admit I don't have any real sci-fi looking buildings. But I can drop something down to serve as a general idea of where the buildings are in relation to where you are on the streets here. So something akin to that. But yeah, like I said, the majority of you are mesmerized and looking around. And then there is a shout that rings out, Don's shout, and you turn around to suddenly see a group of men, soldiers, mech soldiers. I'm just gonna call them by their name, though I don't have to. That was longer than I thought it was. Oh well. Yeah. My brain died when I played that sound effect because I forgot what I was going to say about the sound effect. Yeah. So you turn around, you see them. They all lift up their right arms and point them towards you. Each of their right arms, instead of having hands or claws or something, it ends at this strange circular spot, almost like the hand has just been like missing. So
I don't like that.
Yeah, not a fan.
Because do remember, even though he's not present, Don is friends. Don, one of Don's employees is Glyph, and he has an arm cannon.
Right.
So he knows so he has an idea already.
He has an idea, yeah. Honestly, I would say that Don would probably take one look at it and go, "Oh, that looks like an arm cannon." So.
Because mana guns exist. and I convinced you to include mana cannons, which are just mana guns with 1d8 instead of 2d4.
Yep, that they are. I heard something. I thought somebody started talking, but then stopped. So. They say something in some kind of language that you have never heard before. It doesn't take them more than a moment to realize that you don't appear to understand them, in which hostile intent looks pretty evident. You can go ahead and do some initiative rolls if you would like.
Oh boy.
I mean, you could also not, but then that would be bad for you.
That would be good.
Because then you'd have a bad... You had to roll some initiative, or you're going to have a bad time.
It's a 14 for Liana. Also, don't forget to roll initiative for your familiar as well.
Well, they actually just take place right after you. I think they just
familiars, I think, share your initiative, but just go after you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. Maybe we were doing...
Now that I think about it, aren't familiars supposed to be non-combatant?
Just to make sure any supporting action they do is in initiative order.
They can
in
participate in
combat,
the fight, they just can't attack.
Yeah, in combat, it rolls its own initiative and acts on its own turn. The familiar cannot attack, but it can take other actions as normal. That's the Find Familiar spell, so...
I spent
yes.
quite a while playing a character with a familiar, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had another person. We had a couple of people that had familiars, and they always rolled initiative. So,
Huh.
but yeah, it says right there in the spell.
Let me bring up the stat block for the hawk then.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, it's got a +3 to initiative. Alright.
Maybe it's summoned
No.
familiar.
Hmm.
What's this thing's,
18 for me, by the way.
18 for Katreya.
Anyway, that's a 22 for Don.
22 for Don. I think all familiars are summoned. Because when your familiar dies, you can resummon it. So when the familiar
I
drops to
thought
0
how
HP, it
find
disappears, leaving
familiar-
behind no physical form. It reappears after you cast the spell again. Yeah, like your familiar is magical. It's like a fae. It's a spirit, but it takes an animal form. So it's not actually an animal. It's a spirit that's taking an animal form.
Got it.
So okay, so a 13 for the hawk. So we just need nuts and the owl.
16 for the owl.
16 for the owl. Also, if you
7
name
for
your
nuts.
Say again?
7 for nuts.
Oh dear. If you name your familiar, you can either just edit the token and add the name, or tell me and I'll edit the token and I can add the name. Either way, you know, if you have a name for your familiar, we can get it added. Anyway, with that, Dawn is up. So, and I do believe that, unless, like, you specify, your familiar just kind of hangs on you. So, like, if you move, it will move with you as if it's mounted. So.
Which means I can get sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Nice thing for a rogue to have is a familiar, because always sneak attack.
Yep.
Ugh. You have an ally within 5 feet of you. Yeah, it's called me. Little more or less. It's my owl. My snake.
And not to mention, owls get flyby, which means they can move out of range without provoking opportunity.
Yes. But yeah, it is your turn there, so.
Let me check something.
Okay.
Oh, I could really cheese this then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Don's just gonna back. Let's see. So if I move it right here, that would be a 35, so... Because Owl has a 60-foot flight speed, so... Okay, I think I know what I'm doing then.
Okay.
Yep. Don's just gonna hold this action with his bow ready. And you'll see his hold action when the owl moves.
Okay. Sure. Katreya.
Now, if I remember correctly, Rin said these things were constructs, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I want to do 3 things.
Okay.
So
Right.
first I'm going to use my action to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself.
Okay.
So they all now have disadvantage to attack me. And then I'm going to move up. Get right in the middle of them.
Protection from evil and good.
Yeah, I believe constructs are included. Let me see.
Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Oh, never mind. In that case, I will not cast it.
Okay.
I thought constructs were on the list. Never mind.
It's because constructs are true neutral.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get up and close and personal with these things, and I'm going to make my special monster lore check, for which I'm expending a superiority die.
Alrighty.
I want to learn if these things have how they fight, what their weaknesses are, etc., and so on.
Okay.
So I'm rolling d20, d8, plus 4.
And does it make any rolls of any kind, or?
No, I'm just going against a DC that you decide on, basically.
Aha.
You decide if my check is really amazing.
Okay. Let me see. This is fight. What is it again from this? What is this ability? It's one of your fighter abilities.
Yeah, I'm expending a superiority die to make a lore check, which would be whatever intelligence skill you assign it to. So I'm guessing for constructs it would be Arcana.
Probably. I'm just trying to look.
So I'm essentially rolling Arcana and adding a d8.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I was just trying to see if I could look it up or look up the ability or whatnot. What did you say the roll was?
It's a 26, and all it does is allow me to add the die to the skill check.
Okay.
It doesn't have any other. I'm just trying to make a really high skill check.
Aha. Okay. I get it.
Yep, that's it. It just takes the skill check and adds a die to it.
Takes the skill check and
that's all it does.
Okay. Got it.
Could you use that outside of combat?
I can use it on mental saving throws, and I can use it on. It's basically for detection checks and lore checks. That's it.
Right.
And I do run out of these dice. I have to expend them. I only have 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see what you're doing now. Okay. Sorry, I get I understood what you were saying, but my brain was not connecting that until I actually found it. Okay, so 26. Let's see.
Can I learn anything useful?
I mean, I feel like you should, considering the roll you made. I would say, you don't really see anything, that I guess you would list as a weak spot. You can tell that on its left hand it has these claw sharp pointy things, and then of course it has this nub as its right arm, and you can definitely tell that the right arm is some sort of a ranged attack, a ranged weapon.
Some sort of arcane bolt or something.
Yeah, some kind of an arcane.
Well, what about resistances or vulnerabilities? like to damage or anything.
So that's a good point. I would not have thought of that had you not said it, and that's definitely something that you would pick up on. These guys look as though they are made out of adamantine. If there's one trait of being made out of adamantine that you know, it means that they are more than likely resistant to all non-magical damage.
Well, fuck.
She, of course, will relay this to everyone else as she's rushing up to these guys and examining them.
Right. They look as though they are completely made out of metal. The like deep kind of purple, look of adamantine metal. You can see that, on on their bodies they're made out of. So as for vulnerabilities, it doesn't look like they have any particular weak spots or weaknesses. The adamantine might make them resistant to magic in some way, but you're pretty sure that they're not. Just looking at the way they are designed.
But I know that my non-magic rapier would do half damage.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna use, since that was my bonus action, I'm just gonna use my action to like minor missile the one I'm next to.
Okay.
Since it doesn't have an attack roll, I just flat it in the face.
Right.
I'll hit. Actually, I can hit any of them.
Yeah, you can hit any.
Why do the frontliner, since that's who everybody else will be attacking? I'll hit number 10. Why not?
Sounds good to me.
Soften up the back line a bit. That is 3 points of force damage.
3 points of force damage. Alright. Got it.
And since I'm not sure what tactics these guys are going to employ yet, I'm not going to do action surge or anything else. I'm just going to like end my turn there.
Alrighty. Owl.
Okay. Using that because he's got 30 movement speed. Gonna fly by here and trigger Don's sneak. And with that, Don's action is gonna proc where he's gonna shoot an arrow.
Okay. Hey, they only hit for half damage, but sneak attack still deals a lot.
Well, not that much. It's enough.
True, you're only level 3, so it's only what, 2d6 at the moment, or is it still 1d6?
I think. Let's see. 2d6.
It's 2d6. Okay. I was thinking it did go up at this level, so yeah, it goes up every other level, every second. Every second level, but technically it's every odd level. Yeah, every odd level, that's the word. Goes up every odd level. Anyway.
Anyway, with that longbow, that's gonna be a just roll. 21 to hit.
21? That'll hit,
Yep.
yeah. Right, duh. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask which one you're attacking, and I remembered, duh, the one that you have sneak attack on. Hey! I'm paying attention, honest. I'm not focused on, 5 things at once.
Even cutting it in half, that's gonna be 9 total.
So 9 after it's cut in half?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
And with that, the owl's just gonna fly away.
Okay. Liana. Who shouldn't have any
Same
real
method
issues,
as
because...
always, but She's gonna go there,
Okay.
which I believe, yep, exactly 30 feet. And she's gonna swing for the one on the front line.
Number 1. Okay. With
Game
advantage
on
from flanking.
Gotta love that flanking.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want the 8 or do you want the 8?
I think, you know what? Let me think about this. Well,
Decisions?
I think I'll take the 8,
I think it's
actually.
like the 8, right? Yeah. You grip the sword, you swing, and the sword is a bit lighter than you're used to, and unfortunately you miss. You overswing with the sword. Sad.
Chaser.
On the other hand, your hawk gets to go, or
Alright.
you know, if you don't want it to do
Check
anything, you can pass.
the thing. What does the hawk do? What can I do with my familiar? I forget.
Can you do? I mean, your familiar can take any action, except for like attacking. Really,
All right, I should have had him dodge as well.
really, like I think, really, yeah, like a dodge or something is really,
Yeah, I'll let him dodge. I'll let him dodge.
yeah,
So I didn't really do anything during his turn. It just moved.
yeah. I can. I'll let you add a dodge onto your owl as well there. So, all right. Who's ready to see what these things can do? Well, this
Something
guy
painful, I
has.
assume?
Say again.
Something painful, I assume.
This guy has 2 targets, 3 technically, at his face. So he, or it, I guess, is going to turn. Let's say it'll turn to Katreya. I assume a 14 is a miss.
Yes.
Okay. So it lashes out with its claws, but you dodge out of the way pretty simply. Number 2 is going to sidestep into flanking because, hey, these things actually have some smarts at least. So, do I take the nat 1 on that advantage, or do I take the 2? I'm going to assume a 9 is going to miss Liana, so there's that.
Thank Christ.
This guy will go ahead and step into flanking. Let's hope for not as bad a roll this time. Ooh, 17? On Cat?
That is a hit.
Okay. You're mid-dodging, in the middle of dodging the attack from 1, as an attack from number 3 comes at your back for a whopping 2 slashing damage. Now, as for the rest of them who are not in melee range, what will they do? Number 4 is going to go ahead and get into combat with Sophia. Does an 18 hit?
An 18, I believe. Yeah, it matches.
Matches? Okay, so that is a hit. It is going to deal a whopping 5 slashing damage.
Oh dear.
Number 5 will join and step into... Actually, no. That'll be number 6 that does that. Excuse me again. Good grief. How about a 16 on Katreya?
Yep, that hits.
All right. Slashing you for a whole 4 slashing damage.
Ouch.
Number 5 is going to take a few steps this way, ensuring, and actually that's not even how it's going, because it's ensuring that it's stepping away from Liana. It's going to step up here, aim, and fire. That is a 25 on Dawn. Assuming, I'm gonna assume that's a hit. So 7 radiant damage as you get blasted by a laser. Number 8. Number 7 actually. Let's do 7 first. 7 is gonna step here. Turn to Nuts, and 11 to hit on Nuts. I assume that's a miss, but
That's a miss. Sorry, I was muted.
you're good. So yeah, it shoots you with a laser, but the laser goes right fires right, next to you. Mech number 8. Mech 8 is just gonna sidestep, take aim, and fire with a laser. That is a 23 on Nuts.
That hits.
You're taking 4 radiant damage. And then these two are just going to fire their lasers as well. But at the front of the party. Oh. 24 against Sophia.
I'm sad.
That's 2 radiant damage.
How much was the damage on me? Sorry.
I don't remember anymore. I think it was 4? 4 radiant, I think it was.
Cute.
And Katreya is probably not going to get hit. Nope. That's a 14 on Cat, so that's a miss too.
So I take 1 radiant damage. You love to see it.
Alright. Nuts is up.
Okay. So, I'm going to make a beeline to here.
Okay.
Yana, you might wanna do something like sidestep this or something. I'm going to cast.
Yeah, you can get. If you're doing something that's circular, you can get here as 30 feet.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Thank you.
I'll try to make sure everything's as fair as possible.
But now you can't be protected by yours truly.
Hey, but this puts him out of flanking at least.
Sure.
So what kind of... I assume it's a saving throw spell?
Yes. Constitution save throw.
Constitution... what spell are you casting?
Thunderwave.
Thunderwave. Okay. That's not the one that has disadvantage. Or that they have disadvantage on. Right? Or... No, okay. Because I know there's one of those thunder spells. I don't know which one. But if they're constructs, they have disadvantage. So I wanted to be sure that that was that wasn't that one. Not that it would have mattered too much for most of these guys. It looks like. I got 2 10s, but also a 19.
The 19 saves.
I figured.
I'm going to use my 1 channel divinity
Okay.
to max out the damage, and I'm casting it at a 2nd level.
So 3d8. So max out the damage on 3d8. So 24 damage.
24 lightning damage, and on a failed
Thunder.
save.
But yeah.
Yes.
So
On a failed save, they're also pushed 10 feet.
I just deleted 2 and I think 5. I looked at the numbers. I said, "Oh, it's these 2." I deleted them and then immediately went, "What were the numbers again?" So 2 and 5 are down because ain't no way they're surviving 24 damage. Half damage is going to be 12 on number 7. So he is still up.
You all, have any of you played Titanfall 2 campaign?
I have not. I can tell you that much. I don't know about anybody else, but I know that I have.
Yes, I have. What about it?
You know the arc weapon? At the end of the game, how it explodes?
It's been a
That's
hot
what-
minute.
Well, that's how. So Nuts forms a ball of sound and then collapses it in on itself, and
Boom. Makes sense. Alright. And that brings us to Don.
All right. Well then.
Well, plenty of allies within 5 feet this time.
Yep. He's just gonna move up here. Oh, it's rapier.
Okay. Had a lot of rapiers.
Well, a lot of deck space.
Yeah. It's just both Cat and Don both have rapiers.
Yep.
So a lot of rapiers.
Well, a lot of deck space instead of strength base.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm Dex. Dexterity is just better.
Mm-hmm.
So we are. Okay, he's just gonna try 7 with his He's just gonna have number 7 with his rapier, and
Okay.
because he's just gonna have to eat up his action anyway. He's gonna cast booming blade,
Ooh.
just in case.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't gonna do nothing to him because he ain't gonna move.
Ah. Okay.
But it's still like, it's just extra damage just in case. I
Right.
put my phone.
That's true.
Uh, 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's gonna be 7 damage.
7 damage. Is that after half?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, he is down. Because he had exactly 7 health left.
Good.
So that's nice. Alright. Anything else?
Let me check.
I know rogues tend to have tend to do things after they kill something, so
Yep.
not always.
That's gonna be it.
Ketreya.
All right. So, which one of the mech soldiers took half damage from the thunder wave?
That was up here. So
Oh, okay.
all of
So
those guys
that's
are
already
down.
done. Okay.
Number one has some damage taken though. So
So I'm going to make an attack on number 1 since I have advantage on that. So she's going to use her rapier for that.
alrighty.
And with that, I'm going to be right back. Remember, Don's AC is 15.
AC is 15.
What is it with me rolling with advantage and getting like a 3 and a 1?
Oof.
Okay, so then I'm going to action surge and cast minor magic missile at Soldier 10 again.
Soldier 10 again. Alrighty.
Because apparently I can't hit the broadside of a barn with my sword.
It happens.
It does happen, unfortunately. That's
Yeah.
another 4 force damage.
4 force damage. You stab it with a rapier, and the rapier, being flexible as it is, just bends inward. It's like one of those cartoons.
If I have a weapon in my offhand, can I make an attack with it?
Yes.
As a
You
bonus
don't
action,
get,
yeah.
you do not get your
Ability modifier to damage. Yeah.
Unless I have the dual wielder fighting type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yes, if you have 2 weapons, you can make 2 attacks. One as an action, one as a bonus. So
Damn.
Hmm?
So I can only hit 2 of them with this. That is depressing.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't account for like weird angles, does it? Well, it does, but look at that. That's weird.
yeah, I mean, there's only 2 of them that are up, up against you there. So
Yeah, but like I'm trying to get the cone. Like I'm doing a cone. I'm trying to look at what the cone would look like, and
oh, I see. I mean,
Yeah.
I can if you need a cone, I can give you a
can you bring the
cone.
cone thing in? Because I'm using the template, but it just does squares, which is like weird as hell.
Yeah, I can. Let me give you the cone. What size is it?
15 foot.
15-foot cone. There you go.
Much appreciated. And how do I rotate this bad boy?
Right click it and do set facing, and then just rotate your mouse around until it's in the direction you want it. So, if you're aiming it down this way,
It only does 90 degrees.
yeah. So that's the beauty of this, is you can do that.
Oh yeah, true.
It's the
those
same
two
size
numbers
on
I
all 3 sides, so
Yeah.
same size, same angle. But yeah, it's only gonna hit this one and this one if you use a cone.
Yeah, if you look at the top left, there's like this template tools thing, and I was using the cone on that, and it shows me the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Oops. How do I get rid of these now? Templates, but how do I get rid of them?
You have to use the erase tool.
Okay.
I got it.
Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna attack those 2 then with the burning hands.
Okay. So let's see. It was
I have to do a dexterity saving throw.
those 2. I was just gonna say because I don't think. Yeah, even that wouldn't help you any. So okay. So 6 and 8.
I don't think either of them passed.
Hmm?
I don't think either of them passed that.
Well, no. Those were the ones I needed to find out. On the other hand, for their rolls, I got a 1 and an 8.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, they take 3d6 damage.
Okay?
Yeah.
3d6 fire damage. Nice.
So 14 damage each.
14 damage on 6 and 8. 14. They're still both up since they hadn't taken any damage yet. But they did take a pretty significant amount of damage off of that. So, anything else?
That would be. Well, actually, no. You see, I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
Can I cast the same spell again?
No. So with spells, if you use a leveled spell and then an action surge, you can only then cast a cantrip.
Okay.
They actually do have rules for that.
Yeah.
That is legitimate D&D
You
rule.
can't, unless you're a sorcerer, you can't cast 2 leveled spells
Right.
in one turn.
So,
Fair enough. I'm still gonna
Yeah.
action surge and attack the soldier 1 with my longsword.
okay. Yeah. I mean, you got your silvered longsword, so
18.
18 will hit, 10 damage, and it had 10 health, so it's down. Because I'm assuming you're using because you wrote +1 silver longsword. So.
Yeah, I've got my macros. I ain't using my crappy longsword no more.
Right.
I got a +1.
Right. Indeed. Is your hawk gonna do anything?
Once again, dodge.
Just dodge. I figured.
But wait, after that turn, I'm gonna move here instead.
Alrighty. I assume your hawk is staying on you, kind of thing. So.
All right, I'm back. I
I'm
ain't
back.
dead yet, am I?
Huh?
No. They're just starting their turn.
Yep, just starting their turn. So this mech soldier is going to swing at Liana. That is a 17 to hit.
Nope.
Alright. Swing at Katreya. That is it's not quite a critical. I did the wrong way around. That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, definitely.
Not quite a critical. It was only a 19 on the die.
But quite square. It's quite square on. Yes.
So that's 9 damage.
All right. I'm feeling that. That's a lot of damage.
This one is going to turn its attention to Liana for a 19 to hit.
As sad as I am to say, yes.
Alright. 3
Yes.
slashing damage.
3, damn.
This one gonna step up here. Gonna point at Nuts. And that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
3 radiant. And then number 9 gonna actually step up to Nuts. I'm assuming that's a miss. 13 to hit?
That is a miss.
Okay. You know what? Don hasn't taken a hit yet. We're gonna shoot at Don, and that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Easy hit.
That is 3 radiant damage. He go pew pew. Nuts is up.
I see a very juicy opportunity.
Okay.
I'm going to skadoosh right there. I am going to cast, I guess, Thunderwave again at a 2nd level.
2nd level, Thunderwave again. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I've recently found another D20. Where did it go? Found it on the floor the other day. I picked it up. There it is. Yeah, I have 4 D20s. I have way more than that. I don't know where the rest went. I had like 15 D20s. I don't know where they've been. So, and this is Dex based, right?
It is Constitution.
Constitution based. Oh, good for them then. So I have a 12 and 3 18s.
Yep.
Sorry. I don't mean to sniffle and
8.
make nasty noises, but
19 damage.
So number 9 is taking 19 damage, which knocks it out. And then 4, 10, and 8. Let's see. 4, 10. Let's see. 19. So it's 9, 4, 10, and 8. 8 is down. Um, 10 is barely standing. And 4 has taken no damage until now. So, alright. So he's okay then. Alright. That worked out pretty well, actually. Don is up.
All right.
You can aim at anyone and have sneak attack.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah. Just depends on if he wants to shoot with a bow or actually get up there, you know? Because he could get flanking.
Oh.
But he's going to go over there, which makes sense.
Yep.
But I can no longer cast silence, so...
Why would you need to? Well, why would you not? Why would you need to?
Well,
Wouldn't you want to?
yeah, I was going to say that's just due to...
Well, why couldn't you? I mean,
Oh,
I'm out of spell slots.
yeah.
Second.
Yeah, silence
Still
is
cast it
level
as a
2.
ritual.
Yeah, that, well,
Later.
yeah,
That's
that's true.
true.
Yeah, you can still cast as ritual. That doesn't cost spell slots.
anyway, attacking soldier 10.
You're already planning on ritual casting it anyway, so... Alright, number 10.
After being repeatedly tenderized with missiles, he should go down quick.
Yeah,
I hope.
But anyway, synthetic 20 to hit.
okay. Yeah.
5 already cut in half. 5 damage.
Already cut in half. 5, yep. That's enough. He's down.
Yes.
Alright. Katreya?
I'm gonna cast Minor Missile at Soldier 6 since it's already hurt.
Alrighty.
Hey, I got the max, 5 damage.
Hey! That's how much health he had.
Nice. Gablat.
I was just thinking, if you can, if you roll max, you'll get that. Yeah, you got it. Nice. Very good. Alright. Anything for the owl? Other than taking dodge action?
Just takes a dodge.
Alright, Liana.
Well, before my turn's over,
Oh.
can I move to the other side of 3? Like, is there enough room for that? Like, can I
Oh,
move here?
no. That's, this is,
Oh, okay.
that's covering the whole square there, so.
In that case, I'll just move here.
Otherwise,
was it.
yeah.
I just
Otherwise,
wanted
they
to
would have
move.
gone around this
Why
way
would
too,
you
so.
do that? Now I can't protect you when you get hit.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing is protection.
Oops.
Okay, fine. I'll just stay where I was. Jeez. Okay.
I'm gonna swing my sword at 4.
Oop, that was.
But first, damn. Look at that movement. She do got the schmoves.
I don't know why that came back after we erased it, but whatever. Wow. Wow, but I'm. Oh wait, no, yeah, you do have advantage. Wow. So go ahead and roll another D8 there, because that's a crit.
Rush it in.
I'm gonna have to add that to the macro, so the macro is just gonna get longer. That's cool. So that's 14 damage.
14 damage. Nice, nice. On number 4, hey, 14 is enough. It would not have been against 3, but it was against that guy, so.
Oh.
Because 3 actually has taken no damage yet. So the Hawk's turn. I'm assuming just dodge.
Yep.
Alright. Robot time. I'm gonna be honest, these things, they don't know surrender. So he's just gonna keep fighting.
Macro's updated.
That is. Yep. Nope. That's not gonna hit. Nuts.
Okay. I'm gonna see if I can just. I can. And I'm just gonna shocking grasp this motherfucker.
Alrighty. That's attack roll, right?
Shocking grasp.
Yeah. Make a melee
Yes.
spell attack. Alright.
That's a 24.
24.
To hit.
Nice. Is that not a crit though?
No, it's a 19 plus
Nah.
5.
Rip. It's plus 5 to your modifier. Rip. Alright.
I have advantage if it's made of metal.
Yeah. I mean, it's made out of adamantite, so. If
Yeah,
that would be
no,
metal.
that's gonna be a 19 plus 5.
Okay.
And it can't take reactions until the end of its next turn. It takes a D8 damage too.
Yeah.
But I have
Yeah,
to
gotta
find my
take the
D8.
D8 damage.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to attack with my offhand.
How much was the shocking grasp damage again? Two damage?
2
damage.
2 lightning.
Alrighty.
Are you doing a weapon attack for the?
Offhand, yeah. Offhand weapon
yeah.
attack.
You have to use your action to attack with your offhand.
Yeah.
Shocking grasp is my attack action, and then
Yeah.
That's only,
Yeah, that's
I think that's
casting
your
a
only
spell.
action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's casting a spell.
Yeah. Spells are different from like using an action for a spell is different from using an action to
For an
make
attack.
the attack action.
damn.
So yeah,
Okay, that's my turn.
it can be a little confusing. Done.
All right. Just him left then.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Just gonna go what? Blanking.
Okay.
And he manages to crit.
Nice.
So at least that's just regular damage then. That's going to be 16 damage.
16. I assume that's halved already.
Yeah.
Alright. You know what? That is enough, actually. With that good old sneak attack, he goes down. Very good.
Well struck, Don.
Thank you. Shame I can't fit one of these things in that bag.
Well, we could actually disassemble them and then put them in the bag of holding.
Just need one.
Yeah, give me the parts and I'll shove them in there.
Why not all of them?
Can you fit a whole... Oh, that's true. You can put a whole creature inside a bag of holding, can't you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It can hold up to...
500 pounds.
Like, yeah, I was going to say, like, 500 pounds, so...
And so she opens up the bag and is like, go
How
ahead,
much-
pick one, shove it in.
He just picks the most intact one.
Nuts is. I want Nuts to rip off the limbs of the automatons and stuff them in. If that's possible.
Yeah. Let's see. Make a... Oh, I wish there was a quick way to look at freaking, like, a list of the abilities. Without me having to load up a freaking...
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and use second wind since it's just free healing.
Right. Make an Arcana check to... Because I mean, if you're literally just ripping it off, there's a possibility that it might, break, explode, something of that nature. You could try an Arcana check to see if you can, like, disassemble it without any problems.
That's a 9.
That's a 9.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take over there.
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take over for that.
I'm gonna go ahead and have Don do an Arcana.
Or at least try to.
Okay. Why is it even still up here? That doesn't need to be there. It's empty.
18.
18. That's considerably better. Okay. Yeah, with an 18, you could, like, detach, like, I assume you're going after the blaster arm.
He's doing like a full one.
And Nuts was just going for the limbs. He didn't
Right.
care if it's a blaster or not.
Okay.
Yeah, Don's trying to disassemble. Take one that's whole. Take a whole one.
Take a whole one. I mean, if you're gonna take the time to, like, disassemble and put it in, because I mean, you'd have to disassemble.
Or at least, well, it is 500 pounds. So wait, you could fit the creature. You could just dump it in there.
I mean, it still has to be able to fit around the opening of the bag, though.
Oh.
So, like, right? Isn't that a thing? Like, it still has to be able to fit in through the opening.
Yeah.
That's contents retrieving its bag was overloaded. Using bag inside. It must be put. I don't even see that in this. I swear I remember it saying that it had to be able to fit. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it doesn't, like, it specifies that the the opening is 2 foot in diameter.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually say that it has to fit through that. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that it does. So you would have to take the time to actually disassemble one. My thought is that if you take the time to disassemble one or
At least just put it,
multiple,
or at least just curl it into a fetal position.
well, yeah, I guess. I was just thinking you
put
could
a
take
whole
a short
creature
rest.
in there, so.
The
bag says you can put a whole creature in it. So.
Yeah, it does, which is, and that was the other thing. I was just thinking, because end of session.
It's a little incongruous, isn't it?
Yeah, but I was just
really.
thinking end
So
of
probably-
session you could take a short rest.
It's just a matter of if it's wired in two. If the thing itself is wired in 2 feet.
But I mean, if you guys don't need a short rest, that's fine too. That was just what I was thinking. So you could take you could take a short rest by taking the time to dismantle.
I mean, if that's the case, just take the arm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a short rest would be nice. That would allow me to get back all the stuff I expended.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to you. Again, that's just what I figured, was that people would want to take a short rest. So.
Now,
It's up to the group.
If we are taking a short rest, the wizard feature is regain half your level worth of spell slots. Is it like at my level I can take like 2 first levels or 1 second level?
I think. Let me look, because I feel like it specified that too, or maybe that was in like the Dungeon Master's Guide. But I do definitely remember.
Actually, that would be 1 first level slot, wouldn't it? Because half of third would be 1.
Half of third. Yeah, half of third would end up being 1. What? I'm not even seeing that now for some reason. What is that?
It's Arcane Recovery.
Arcane Recovery. Is that
right below Spellcaster?
Oh.
At least it should be.
They have that in a weird spot, is what it is. Okay. 'Cause I'm looking on 5e. Arcane Recovery is the first thing they list. I was looking at, like, other spots. Learn to regain some of your spell slots. Spell slots combined is equal to or less than half your wizard level, rounded up. So it's rounded up, but it's your wizard level, not your class level. And your level 1 wizard. Level. Right?
Yeah.
So it would be 1 first level slot. Equal to.
What I didn't know is if it was 1 first level slot and 1 second level.
Let's see. So, for example, if you're a 4th level wizard, you can recover up to 2 levels worth of spell slots. Meaning, you can recover either a 2nd level spell slot or 2 1st level spell slots. So you can divide it up however you want, as long as it's certain amount of, equal to your, half of your level. So that's in the rule
gross.
itself. So.
Wait, did you say at 4th level?
Yeah, I was reading from the rule itself. The rule literally says, for example, if you're a 4th level wizard, you can recover up to 2 levels worth of slots. You can recover either a 2nd level spell slot or 2 1st level spell slots. That is
half
literally
your level rounded up. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I'll
Half your wizard level, that is, rounded up.
half your wizard level rounded up. So,
Gross.
the bottles are in Liana's bag. Okay, I'll do that then.
So that means by that roll, half of 1 would be 1?
Yeah, half of 1 rolled up would be, or rounded up would be 1. I think that's the idea, is that it's round up, because otherwise you wouldn't be able
there'd be
to
no
do it
point
at
in having
all.
it first level. Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. I thought that was a 2nd level ability, and I'm going, you're only wizard level 1. So I was looking down where, 2nd level stuff is, but no, that's just right at the very top of wizard, so. So yeah, you get it immediately at level 1, and so at level 1, you'll get 1. At level 2, you'll still have 1. At level 3, that'll be when it becomes 1.5, and thus it goes up to 2. And then level 4, it's still 2. So, but it's based off your wizard level, not your overall level. So,
They make it go up at odd levels.
yeah, they make it go up at odd levels instead of even levels, like usual. Usually it's even levels, so.
Since I never play wizard, that makes me ask the design choice of why not put arcane recovery in the table instead of having you do this every odd level round up obnoxious extra math.
Did they do it?
Perfect
Yeah, they
for a
do
wizard
that for
player.
literally every other class, but maybe it was a limitation of the books when they were released. They just didn't have the space on the table or something. I don't know.
I'm tempted to ask if I can switch to sorcerer instead of wizard.
Switch to sorcerer instead of wizard. So my answer on that would be, I've actually done this with another player, with switching their class around. And the idea was that on level up, you can, change. So we had a player who, for lack of better term, found religion. He was, I think, a warlock or a fighter or something like that. He was one class. He leveled up to level 10 in that class. But then the story pushed him into the path of becoming a cleric. But he didn't want to take cleric as a secondary class because it conflicted with, first off, it didn't feel right for him to still be fighter. And it conflicted with what we were going for with his story and things. So what I told him was, when he leveled up, he could take one class in cleric, and he could subtract one class from fighter and put it into cleric. So on level up, when we get to level 4, I will allow you to remove a level in wizard and add it to sorcerer instead, if you would rather convert your wizard into sorcerer, which would put you at 2 levels in cleric and then 2 sorcerer at level 4.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll stick with wizard for now.
Okay. Because
and next level up,
I would allow more freedom, but the Milesian race is literally that. On a long rest, they can just change their whole class. And so, like, Milesians can literally just be like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm going to drop 3 levels in Cleric and gain 3 levels in Fighter on a long rest. That's a racial trait. So I have to do something to balance it so that not everybody can do that, because then that removes Milesian's big, specialty.
No, I get that.
But
That's dope. That's pretty cool.
I
It's
really,
pretty cool. Yeah.
I really dislike it when you're playing a character, you've taken a few levels in something, and you just go, this doesn't feel right for my character. I don't feel like I'm playing them correctly, I don't like how this plays. But then you've already dedicated 5 levels to something, and now you're like, well, what the heck do I do, You'd have to make a whole new character at that point, right? It's like, no, make it part of the story where, your character took a level in Wizard because he started to research, the more wizardy type magic, and then something awoke within him that said, hey, and then all of a sudden you went, hey, wait a minute, it adds to a character's story, So
Yeah.
So on Level Up, you can, and I will let anybody do this. Now you can only subtract 1 level per level up, but on Level Up you can subtract 1 level and add that to another class, and then level up your, essentially gain 2 levels in a class that way. So
That's really cool.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
like I said, when I had a player that, again, he was like a fighter, I think, and he found religion, for lack of a better term. He found himself called to follow a god and become a cleric. It was like we were like 8 levels in. He's gonna take 12 levels in cleric, all of a sudden. So it's like, instead of here's 8 levels in cleric, now level up to 9. It's, you are still having, you weren't a cleric, so you had to still learn, but you're not, just next day all of a sudden I'm a cleric, so but yeah, with the short rest, I do believe that is a good stopping spot for our session. So for those watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. You can check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any of the podcasts that you missed. This is streamed live, twitch.tv/Serene Inc. Feel free to come on out, hang out with us, chat, things like that. We do read chat. We don't vocally respond, but we do type in chat and respond to chat that way. So we do chat with you, so feel free to come out and chat. And with that, anything anyone else want to say?
For anyone who came by, thanks for coming by and watching. We really appreciate everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting old.
Well, with that, we'll see you all next time. See ya.